Say the word Texas and most people picture oil derricks and cattle ranches. Nobody pictures this. Hudspeth County sits 85 miles southeast of El Paso, in a stretch of desert so empty that its entire population would fit inside one Dallas high school. About 3,400 people, spread across an area larger than Delaware. For most of Texas history, this county existed on the map and nowhere else. Then geologists looked inside one specific mountain and found 16 of the 17 rare earth elements in a single rock formation. In April 2025, China cut off exports of 7 of those same elements to the United States. Magnet shipments from China crashed 74% in a single month. And a mountain in the emptiest county in Texas went from geological curiosity to national security asset almost overnight. Round Top Mountain is a rhyolite laccolith, a mushroom-shaped igneous intrusion roughly 2 kilometers across and 375 meters tall. The Texas Bureau of Economic Geology estimates the mass of the rock at about 1.6 billion tons. From a distance, it looks like every other dry ridge in far west Texas. The difference is what's inside. Round Top hosts 16 of the 17 known rare earth elements, plus lithium, gallium, beryllium, hafnium, and zirconium. And the composition is inverted compared to most rare earth deposits anywhere on the planet. Most deposits are dominated by light rare earths, the ones that are easier to find and less strategically critical. At Round Top, heavy rare earths, including dysprosium and terbium, make up roughly 70% of the total rare earth content. That ratio matters. Dysprosium is what keeps the permanent magnets inside an F-35's flight control actuators from demagnetizing at high temperatures. Terbium does the same job in the motors of electric vehicles and wind turbines. A Virginia-class submarine uses rare earth magnets in its propulsion system. Tomahawk cruise missiles use them in guidance packages. There is no alternative material. There is no workaround. Without these specific elements, those systems do not function. And for decades, one country has controlled nearly all of the refining. China processes roughly 99% of the global supply of dysprosium and terbium. A mountain in West Texas with 70% heavy rare earth content isn't a mining opportunity. It's a pressure release valve for an entire defense supply chain. Texas built its modern identity on oil. The Permian Basin, a few hundred miles northeast, has shaped a century of the state's politics, infrastructure, and self-image. Rare earths never fit that story. Nobody looked for them here until 2010, when a small company called Texas Mineral Resources Corp. Acquired a 950-acre mining lease on state land covering Round Top, plus prospecting permits on another 9,345 acres of adjacent state land. The economics of hard rock rare earth mining are brutal. The ore has to be crushed, heap leached with acid, and separated through a chemically intensive series of steps. For 30 years, it was cheaper to let China handle all of that than to build domestic processing capacity. TMRC spent 15 years advancing the project and accumulated a deficit of over $47 million. By early 2026, the company had 2 employees and $764,000 in cash. Geology alone doesn't build a mine. Geology identifies what's worth fighting over once the money shows up. And for Round Top, the money didn't show up until the fight arrived first. In April 2025, China made that fight unavoidable. On April 4th, 2025, China's Ministry of Commerce imposed export controls on 7 rare earth elements: samarium, gadolinium, terbium, dysprosium, lutetium, scandium, and yttrium. Every one of them is used in permanent magnets for defense and clean energy systems. Magnet shipments from China to the US fell roughly 74% year-on-year by May. Car makers in the US and Europe struggled to source permanent magnets. Some cut production. Some shut down factory lines. In October 2025, Beijing went further, applying its most comprehensive restrictions to date, modeled on America's own foreign direct product rule. Companies affiliated with foreign militaries, including the US military, would be largely denied export licenses starting December 2025. China suspended that measure temporarily through November 2026, but the signal was clear. Access to these materials is now a lever, and China holds it. The Pentagon responded with $725 million in loans to close the domestic metallization gap. The Department of Defense issued procurement requests for dysprosium, terbium, samarium, and a list of other materials it had been buying from China for decades. Round Top went from a stalled project to a strategic asset. In January 2026, USA Rare Earth, which had acquired the majority stake from TMRC back in 2018, selected Fluor Corporation and WSP Global as engineering and construction partners to advance the definitive feasibility study. In March 2026, USAR announced a merger to acquire TMRC's remaining 18.4% stake, making itself the sole operator and 100% economic owner of the deposit. In May 2026, the project received a $14.2 million grant from the Texas Semiconductor Innovation Fund, the first major state funding it had ever gotten. The company is targeting commercial production by 2028, with an accelerated mining plan to extract 40,000 metric tons of feedstock per day. USAR isn't building a mine. It's building what it calls a mine-to-magnet supply chain. Extraction in Texas, oxide processing, metal production, and permanent magnet manufacturing across the US and Europe, with no Chinese material anywhere in the chain. The same shift is playing out on the other side of the state, in a formation that oil companies have been drilling through for a century without paying attention to what else was down there. The Smackover Formation runs beneath East Texas and into Arkansas. Oil companies have pumped brine from it for decades. That brine contains lithium at some of the highest concentrations ever reported in North America. A joint venture between Standard Lithium and the Norwegian energy company Equinor, called Smackover Lithium, filed a maiden resource estimate for its Franklin project in East Texas in late 2025, 2.16 million tons of lithium carbonate equivalent at 668 milligrams per liter. That's the highest reported lithium in brine grade on the continent. In June 2025, Chevron acquired 125,000 acres of Smackover leasehold. Exxon holds acreage across the border in Arkansas. The same drilling infrastructure that pulled oil from this rock for 100 years is now pulling lithium from the brine underneath it. Same state, same rigs, a different resource entirely. Subscribe if you want to discover more incredible geology stories hidden across the United States. Which state do you think we should explore next? Drop your answer in the comments. We read every suggestion, and yours could inspire our next documentary. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.